You betcha.
The pass to Miller outside 3. Good.
Big block by Olsen.
Fryer in the paint. Now to Holzer. Left corner 3. Bang! Bang! Oh!
Ulster Telephone Company and R&J Broadcasting Incorporated is proud to present to you this broadcast on your live event.
And back at the Fargo for our continuous coverage here of the North Dakota State Wrestling Tournament. It is dual day today here in Class A and Class B. Chase Miller, Joe Deutsch with you here. And Joe, you know, you go to Carrington and Central Cass. I know we talked about it a little bit earlier today in the broadcast when Central Cass fell to the South Border Mustangs in the quarterfinals. I was talking about how Central Cass and Carrington wasn't too long ago playing, going up against each other in the Region 2 dual portion of that tournament. So give us a little preview of what we expect to see here between the Cardinals and the Squirrels here in a little bit.
Yeah, well, it was a knockdown slobber knocker 2 weeks ago, and Central Cass came out on the right end of that. But, you know, duels can, via matchups, via individual matches, could go one of two directions and swing, a pin goes the other direction, and now it's a 12-point swing in the dual score. So Carrington is, brought 8 guys, I believe, to the state tournament and put 4 in the finals and got 3 state champions. So they have, if they're lacking in some areas, they have the opportunity to score huge bonus points in the areas where they're the strongest. And I just noticed that Corbin Clifton of Carrington, with the 2-pound allowance you get plus the extra pounds for day after wrestling or whatever, he weighed in at 140.5 pounds, which means he technically qualified at the 138-pound bracket. So they have the option there of going with either Clifton or Lura at 38 and then bumping the other one to. Whereas in the first time we wrestled them, Clifton had to be 45 and Lura had to be 38. So
you got Carrington and Central Cass. The winner will play Camera Bullbells or Velva going to the consolation. That'll be at 3 o'clock. There is no 7th-place match here for dual wrestling. On the semifinal side, number 2 seed New Salem Almont going against number 3 seed South Border, and number 1 seed Lisbon against number 4 seed Henniger Scranton. Final thing for you before we kind of get into our coverage here on our modified pregame show. Anything surprise you from the duels from Central Cass's point of view against South Border? Anything kind of stand out, or anybody get moved around to where you thought they might have been up or down a weight class from the first time around, Joe?
No, like I said, I think that duel went according to the talent and the seedings. I mean, some people left a couple bonus points on the table either direction, but the score was wide enough at the end that South Border definitely deserved the win. But Central Cass gave it a great fight and won the matches that they should have.
We're going to come back and we'll get you set here at 132 pounds for the dual consolation semifinals between Carrington and Central Cass.
Welcome to Ada, Minnesota. There's much to offer for new residents and much to do once you're here. Medical facility, living community, and assistant living. A beautiful school campus providing quality education. The Deco Center with a 24-hour fitness center. A community of faith with church and youth programs. Auto dealers, bowling, theater, farm implement and agronomy centers. Banks, retail and service businesses, a radio station, and much more. With employment and housing available. Welcome to the City of Ada to work, raise a family, and relax. Contact the City of Ada for more information.
Your first car. It might not have been perfect, but that didn't matter. You loved it because you worked hard for it. You took care of it, and it took care of you, your friends, and maybe that someone special. And through it all, we were there working with you, for you, to make sure it was a smooth ride. Then and down the road. Farmers Union Insurance. More choices, great rates, local agents.
Well, we'll start this duel at 145. They had it at 132 from the previous duels that were going. So Corbin Clifton goes up against Jake Deutsch here from Central Cass. Deutsch, the senior, going up against Clifton, the freshman here for the Carrington Cardinals to open up this consolation semifinal round duel.
Yeah, they opted to put Clifton up at 45. They had the option of either one of them, and they put Clifton up there. And so Deutsch shucks him by and scores a 2-point takedown. And out of bounds they go and into the center circle. Clifton will be on the bottom. Deutsch will be on top.
So this is something that you were talking about a little bit earlier. Where would you find some of these Carrington wrestlers when you kind of weigh in? And we kind of got our answer right off the bat here at 145.
Yeah, anytime that something like that can happen, that gives you the opportunity to, to choose. I mean, anytime the coach has an extra card in his hand, right, when you're playing poker, you're always in a better position.
And right now, Deutsch working on top after a quick little spin. Up 2-0, 50 seconds into this first period here for the Central Cass Squirrels. For Central Cass and Deutsch, won over Cole Nitschke of South Border via fall, 1 minute and 2 seconds in the quarterfinals. On the opposite side for the Carrington Cardinals, Corbin Clifton with a 4-2 decision over Riley Dole of New Salem Almont, and that was at 138 pounds against the Holsteins, in which he wrestled at in the quarters.
Yeah, they met Jake's first weekend of wrestling this year at the Storehog tournament in Lisbon, and Jake pinned him in that tournament. And then last in the duels they should have met, but I think Clifton was sick, and so they actually forfeited at that weight class, and he didn't wrestle. So
this one getting close to the edge of the match here is Deutsch trying to keep him in more to the center, working on top of 20 seconds left here in this first period.
Working on a cradle, but short time, 10 seconds left in the period. He's looked at the clock. He knows that. He's just going to ride it out here for the next 5 seconds.
You'll keep you comprised of what's going on across the day here in both Class A and Class B as well, just like we did at 10 o'clock this morning with the quarterfinals. 8 mats are going on. No 7th-place matches at 3 o'clock this afternoon, but 5th place, 3rd place in the championship, respectively, both in Class A and Class B.
Deutsch chooses down in the second, and he hits a high flyer on Clifton and puts him flat on his back, and he's settling in, trying to secure the pin.
As right now, Deutsch trying to work with it, not too much room.
It's a switch into a high flyer. He used it on Henry Nelson to pin him in the regionals last week, and there it is.
So it'll come at 1 minute and 36 seconds here at 145 pounds. Jake Deutsch gets the 6 points here for the Central Cass Squirrels via the fall in the second period at 1:36 here for Central Cass, just like Deutsch did back in the quarterfinals. Gets a nice big 6 points here for the Squirrels to get things off going early.
Yep, definitely a tone setter to get out there and get up 6 points to start the duel. And
now for the Central Cass Squirrels and the Carrington Cardinals, they'll go up to the 152-pound weight class here for Central Cass and Carrington. For the Squirrels, Marshall Lindgren was able to get over Jalen Baumgarten of Central Cass at 152 pounds. Lindgren for South Border again defeated Jalen at 152 pounds in the quarterfinals. So as this one gets going here on mat number 7, you're going to have Baumgarten again for Central Cass, the freshman, going up against Corver Kale, the junior here for the Carrington Cardinals to start this 152-pound class.
Yeah.
And right now, Corver working on top with an early 2-point edge in the opening 30 seconds.
Yeah, Corver's got a nice single leg takedown, and he's working to lock up a chicken wing on the right side. But they're right on the edge of the mat. He's got to try to keep them in, or they're going to blow the whistle, especially as close as the Carrington coaches are to the action. And there it is, off the mat, and into the middle they go.
So right now we talk about different age groups, but the one thing with wrestling, it doesn't really matter if you're an 8th grader or a senior. Sometimes, sure, you got the experience, but it is literally if you're at 145 pounds or 152 pounds, it's about as even of a sport you can get. Football, you talk about a freshman going up against a senior, that's a whole different ball game compared to maybe wrestling. A little bit is more even balanced.
It is, but at the same time, if you're a 50-pound wrestler in an 8th grade versus a senior year, you're going to have a lot more muscle as a senior and a lot more softness if you're in 8th grade. Usually.
Yes.
So when you get up in those upper weights, the age difference gaps becomes a much bigger difference than at the younger or lower weights, I feel like.
Cover right now trying to work up top with 40 seconds left here in the first period. Central Cass up 6-0 on the team score after a Deutsch fall via the second period here for the Squirrels. This one come back as the wrestlers moved off the mat. Going to be in the down position here is Jalen. Cale Corver will work on top. Duel starting at 145 pounds again. The quarterfinal started at 138. And the last duel, Olsen Tinglested with his 100th career win as well for the Central Cass Squirrels.
Oh, Corver gets a ball and chain on him, pulls it through, and gets a 2-swipe. Yeah, 2 swipes, so that's going to be a 2-point near fall.
2 points now coming for the Carrington Cardinals there with Corver. As that's how we'll end this first period. Central Cass down by 4 with Jalen, but Corver able to earn all the points there in that first period of the opening 2 minutes. Right now, Lisbon and New Salem Almont currently scoreless at 145 pounds. The same for Kenmare, Bowbells, Burke County, and Velva, and the same at 145 pounds as well early on between South Border and New Salem Almont. So we're going to get a couple more points coming here for Corver, as they're going to be up 7-0 right now at 152 pounds, 11 seconds into this second period. As being on the down position here will be Jalen. Corver tries to get his rip through right off the bat. Currently, this would be just a decision win, but trying to earn a couple more points here already as Corver in this second period up 4-0, and right off the bat gets a couple of more points to get up 7-0.
Yeah, he's got a nice crossface on, and he's trying to work it over across the body, switch it into a butcher, elbow to elbow. 1,000. 1,000. 2-point near fall there. He got a 2-swipe. Looking for a near side cradle. And he's got that locked up. He's got him on his back. He's kicking, but the fall comes.
So Corver at 152 pounds here for the Carrington Cardinals will tie this one up at 6 apiece after back-to-back weight classes. We've seen a fall in the second period. The first one coming with Central Cass. The second one comes up with Carrington. Just like that, we are even at 6 apiece as we head to the next weight class here between Central Cass and Carrington. And going back, Joe, to the regional duels, was this just as tight, so to speak, throughout between these two programs?
Yeah, again, we're they're strong. We aren't necessarily as strong, and we're strong, and they're not necessarily as strong. So back and forth, similar to the way that last duel we just went, and ultimately it's going to come down to the 50-50 matches.
Marcus Bifford of the Central Cass Squirrels out here, the sophomore at 160 pounds against Logan Weininger for the Carrington Cardinals, also a sophomore here. As we go back to earlier, Bifford here at 160 against South Border. Went up against a very quality wrestler in Jason Nitschke, and Nitschke earned the fall over Bifford with 1 minute and 24 seconds in the first period. Logan Weininger lost a decision to Brock Norton of New Salem Almont in the quarterfinals, 3-0 at 160. Still scoreless, making a 2-0 edge here for Weininger 50 seconds into this first period.
Yeah, Weininger's done in a nice ride. He's been keeping that wrist control on the bottom and keeping him flat on the mat, not even able to get up to his base.
He's right now working on the bottom again is Marcus Bifford of the Central Cass Squirrels at 160 pounds. This one tied at 6 apiece.
Bifford's got to get his wrists back, got to get up to his base. looking for a cradle. Weininger is from the top position. Biffert's trying to fight it off best he can. He just called stalling for red on the bottom. Stalling on Biffert.
So 19 seconds here, and that was going to be Biffert's first warning for stalling. So Biffert right now trying not to give up any more points with 10 seconds here in this first period. He's working on him again as Logan Weininger. And they'll tap it dead there to go to the second period, 2-0 Logan. Central Cast right now, and Carrington, they'll start in this neutral position to start the second period.
Yeah, Biffert definitely wanted to look for his score, so he picked the neutral position instead of the down position. I think he felt that he got rode pretty hard there to finish the first period, so it wasn't necessarily a free point on the bottom, so let's go on our feet and see what we can do.
Right now both on a little bit of a headlock up top as they came down to a knee, now back up top to that position as they let each other loose and come back at each other one more time.
Yeah, they're definitely not looking to shoot. They're looking over under hooks, looking to throw to a slide by, something to circle in towards. Nope.
As this will come off the mat, 1:13 left here in this second period. Still 2-0. Logan Weininger with the advantage. So now we reach the midway point here of this second period.
You can't see it, but these two boys are locked up like two rams. Their heads are together, and they are in overhooks, underhooks, and they are circling in. And oh wow, nice high crotch into a dump for a 2-point takedown by Weininger. That'll make the score 4-0 with 30 seconds to go in the second period.
Weininger trying to get an extra move here and try to get another 2 points, but right now 4-0, and kind of the similar situation that we saw at the end of the first period where Biffert gave up 2, trying to find a situation and not give up anything more, and Weininger trying to ride it out as we do have a whistle.
Yeah, he lifted up his wrist to say Weininger stalling, which I didn't know they call stalling from the top position anymore. Honestly, you can stall on the bottom for sure, but I didn't think they called stalling for top position. But he definitely raised his hand, so it's one apiece on stalling for the both of them.
5 seconds left here in this period as we go to the third. 4-0 lead here for Weininger. Update for you on mat number 5 in the semifinals. 6-3 early New Salem Almont over South Border, the Mustangs. It's a 2-3 matchup. And to start this third period, Biffert on top. And right away an escape there for Logan Weininger. So Weininger up now 5-0 here at 160 pounds. As Biffert and back to that lock position.
Same move. He goes into what I call a high crotch and then a dump. Why muscle your way through it? Once you're in that deep on a shot, you just dump him off to the side and get you 2. So he did it and he cut him loose again. So now the score is 7-1 and they're back on their feet here.
Back to that locked up like Rams, as Joe's calling it, which is exactly what it is. 2 guys up top trying to find that little position.
And you can see what's happening now. Weininger's got the win, theoretically, right? And he just keeps cutting him loose and trying to take him down again because he's trying to get that to that 8-point mark so he can get bonus points.
Currently, it would be a decision win, so 3 points coming here, 7 or under. But another move up coming here by Weininger could get him to those bonus points like you're talking about.
Yeah, and then he would just try to ride him out. But the referees are going to call stalemate, and there they did. So
49 seconds left here in the third period, tied at 6 apiece at 160 pounds. Third weight class here, this Class B dual consolation semifinal round action.
Score of the match is 7-1 in favor of Weininger of Carrington. So he's looking for one more takedown. Biffert needs to look for a big move to try to secure a pin.
35 seconds and counting right now. Locked again up top.
Biffert's got to keep working, though, too, because he's already got a warning, right? So if he gets another one, he's going to give up that point that he's trying not to give up. Oh, actually, he'd have to give up 2. So, oh, there it is. Same move. Into a high crotch, into a dump. He gets the 2-point takedown with 10 seconds to go to put Waninger ahead 9-1 at 160 pounds.
Looks like there Weininger will get the major decision win as well by 8 points, 9-1. So put another 4 points on the board for the Carrington Cardinals as Weininger with the 9-1 major decision win. Now it's going to be a 10-6 Carrington Cardinal edge. As we get ready for the 170-pound weight class right now with Central Cass and the Carrington Cardinals. And again on mat number 7 between the Squirrels and Carrington.
We got Mr. Stone Cold Thornton from Central Cass and Mr. Lura from Carrington at 170 pounds.
Jonathan, 19-23 on the season. Stone Thornton, a sophomore here for Central Cass.
Yeah, regular season duo. Stone beat Lura to secure the win. That was the match. It was decided in the last match. I can't remember how it went last week, 2 weeks ago when they wrestled. But it's been a long couple of days here at state tournament.
Yes.
A lot of matches have been had.
Right away in the morning on Thursday through an evening session Thursday night into the Wrestlebacks Friday morning into the Wrestling Championships last night on the individual side, and quarterfinal round dual action got underway again at 10 o'clock this morning. Still scoreless right now in the opening 50 seconds between Lura and Thornton. Just kind of probing, testing each other.
Yeah,
right
you're both looking for wrist control, right? They're looking to set the tone. Who's going to control the match, and that's going to be decided in hand fighting right there in the front.
Under 40 seconds left here in this first period. Lisbon is tied with Henninger Scranton at 3 apiece right now in the semifinal round. Also in the semifinals, a 12-9 edge for New Salem Almont over Henninger Scranton. Now under 30 seconds here with Thornton against Lura.
Yeah, still a lot of hand fighting going on, but nobody wants to score. Thornton goes for a front headlock and then tries to throw. He's in a whizzer. That's the over-under hook. They're going to scramble to the end with no points for either guy, I don't think. Whizzering hard is Thornton. They're both side by side with an over-under hook. Face first into the mat, no points. Period ends. Head into the second period, 0-0.
Oh, that was one where all of a sudden you just kind of, as you mentioned about earlier, Joe, about that wrist, and then the last 20 seconds there, finally got one guy, got the other down to the mat finally.
Yeah, but then he hit that whizzer, which was an overhook onto the shoulder, and drives that guy's head in the mat. And the next thing you know, it's just So yeah, Thornton deferred, and Lura said he thought he did well on his feet in the first period. He wanted to try it again on his feet. So Lura chooses neutral for his decision in the second.
As again, Thornton and Lura here at 170 pounds, 20 seconds into this second period. This might be the old adage, who gets the first point might find a way to earn this particular win at this weight class.
It's true, and it also, a match like this, the way these two are wrestling, can honestly come down to conditioning. You might not be the better wrestler, but in the third period, if you've got more in the gas tank, you can win the match.
Especially after having a chance to wrestle earlier this morning, a little time off in between. They had the Class B Hall of Fame inductions, and now you're getting into the semifinal and consolation semifinals.
Yeah, so Stone's in on a shot. He's trying to get a little peek out for a takedown, and Lura grabbed his ankle, and now Lura's trying to hook the leg to get his 2, and he did.
So there's the first 2 points of this one at 170 pounds. Lura up now 2-0 here for the Carrington Cardinals.
Thornton's up to his base. He's got to get his head up off the mat and work to stand up. Get away, get his 1, and reset.
30 seconds left here in the second period. Consolation semifinal round between Carrington and the Central Cass Squirrels. Winner will go on to play for the Consolation Championship, to wrestle for the Consolation Championship at 3 o'clock this afternoon from the Fargo Dome. Loser will see their dual season come to a close. Laura now working at the edge of the mat, and Thorson comes out, so with 13 seconds left here in this second period. Thornton will go down, and Laura will be up top here for the Cardinals. Two nothing the edge here for Jonathan. As Laura will have a potentially dangerous move as the official will blow it dead with 7 seconds left here in this period.
I thought maybe they would call separation. I think Stone even thought that they did, but they didn't give him one, so he's back for the final 6 seconds. Well, they called a false start, I think, on Lura, so. Oh, they gave him another caution. That's 2 cautions, I believe, on Lura. A third one would be a point, so. Oh, Thornton trying to hit a switch right as the period ended. He almost came around, but he didn't have enough time.
So we go to the third period, still 2-0.
So interesting choice. We're down 2-0. The Thornton's down 2-0. It's his choice. He picks down. So he obviously needs to get up and out right away, and he wants to win it with a takedown on his feet, I'm guessing.
Hanger Scranton just picked up a fall, now up 18-9 over South Border. New Salem Almont up 18-9 over South Border in the dual semifinals. We're right now working on top on Thornton.
Thornton's trying to peel that belly hand and get away. Oof, yeah, just about out. Just about out. It's really important that on the bottom, if you want to get out, you got to be the one who makes the first move. You really do. Clear your arm and stand up and go. Oh, you're looking for the switch. Wasn't there. Lura's got that left arm broke down. He can't get to his base.
This is still on the top here is Laura on Thornton.
Thornton's arm is pinned at his side. He needs to get it back. He's given up a wing on that side. Lura's going to run it over even though he doesn't have a far wrist. And he's looking for back points. It's right about 90 degrees. The referee hasn't swiped yet. Now he's swiping. 3, 4, 5. That's 3 near fall coming as he's looking for the pin. Thornton's got to get to his belly, and he doesn't.
So the pin comes for Jonathan Laura here with 48 seconds left in the third period for the Carrington Cardinals. That's going to be their second fall of the match, and they will earn another 6 points, now up 16-6 as that came again in the third period at 170 pounds here for the Carrington Cardinals.
Yeah, going into that third period, it was 2-0, right? Thornton's picking down, thinking he wants to get away and try to win that thing on his feet. The next thing you know, he's pinned. That's 3 more points than Carrington was hoping for in that situation. So it's quick. It's funny how these things can go quickly. Michael Clifton is going to take a forfeit at 182 pounds. He's an amazing wrestler and a very accomplished career, and we don't have a wrestler at that weight class that can go compete with him.
So Clifton then, which means 6 points additional to the Carrington Cardinals score at 182 here. So add that on to the column for Carrington, and that's something you'll see in duels will be the forfeits. You don't see it a lot once you get to this time of the year, but there is enough weight pound classes, to your point, Joe, where you just might not have that one particular frame on a particular year with guys moving up or moving out of the roster.
And and here we have Hool, right? Hool is our 182-pound wrestler, and we're choosing to wrestle him up against Garber now instead of putting him out there against Clifton. Again, that's coaches making decisions to put their best wrestlers out there and the best opportunities to win.
Playing the old chess game, sometimes when you're a coach, you can't actually come up with the outcome. You can't get the 2 points, but you can definitely take advantage of it. Here's a nice move there by Hool.
Yeah, nice double leg and just turn the corner and get takedown. if Houle can, could get a pin here, and we went 6-6 in that situation, that's huge compared to 6 and maybe even more for them at the next.
Callan Garber again for the Carrington Cardinals, a freshman. Houle, a junior here. Anthony for the Central Cass Squirrels. 2-1 right now in favor of Houle. Nearing the midway point here, the first period update for you from Lisbon and Henniger Scranton. Lisbon up 9-3 on the team duels right now in the Class B semifinals.
They're tied up again. Hoole's got an underhook on the right-hand side. He's looking to try to jack him up and maybe throw him, and Garber didn't want anything to do with that, so he shoved him away, and they got separation.
Seen 3 falls out of the weight classes that have wrestled here outside the forfeit there at 182 pounds.
Wow.
1 by Central Cass and 2 by Carrington.
So Garber just went for a move that you only see in freestyle. It's called an arm throw. And he grabbed it, and he's like pumping the well. He yanked that thing, pulled the rope, and almost had Houle over, but Houle got his weight back and got to his base again, and they're back up on their feet. Score's still 2-1 in favor of Houle.
15 seconds left here in this first period, as the wrestlers will kind of have that wrist action. Now they go for the headshot there, locking up arms. And that's how we'll end this first period here at 195 pounds. Houle up 2-1. Now the decision to start neutral, defer, or you want to be on the ground. And Garber will go down, so Houle will start on top in this second period.
Yeah, Garber chooses the down position, try to get his 1 point to tie this matchup. Hoole's going to do everything he can to break him down, try to turn him. And Garber turned in perfectly right at the edge of the mat and was able to get the escape, and now they're center of the circle again with a minute and 40 to go, tied 2-2.
This one back up top again, trying to get the hooks in for Garber or alongside with Houle. Houle and Garber here again at 195 pounds. Houle lost to Kauk of South Border to Joe's Point earlier in the quarterfinals at 182 pounds. Again, wrestling here at 195.
Yeah, they again back to the old Rams analogy. These two guys are just locking up head to head like a couple of Rams. Houle gets in on a nice double leg, but Garber sprawls, and they get back to their feet, and they're back to the neutral position. Score 2-2 still with 50 seconds to go in the second period.
This one just been a fun back and forth. Both have had 1 or 2 opportunities. Now it's just a matter of which one can finish and get that big 2-point takedown that might be the decision maker as we're late here in the second period. As we're to the heavyweight division on mat number 8 in Kenmare Bowbell. Burke County, the Honkers earned the pin over the Velva Aggies here at 285, and now Kenmare Bowbells with a 30-15 edge over the Aggies. The winner of this wrestling match will play the winner of Central Cass and Carrington in the Consolation Championship. So 10 seconds left here in the second period between Garber and Houle.
I mean, the whole second period has been the same. Houle gets in on a shot, and almost turns the corner as the period expired. All of a sudden, he just had a flurry shot there with 3 seconds, and there wasn't enough to go around. So Houle now is going to choose the bottom position to start the third period, get his escape, hopefully, on his part, and he does within 4 seconds. That's how you need to explode off the bottom, peel the belly hand, spin out, and get your one. So they're back on their feet with 1 minute and 48 seconds to go in the same position they spent the whole second period, and Hoole's up 3-2.
And that's one of those things, it reminds me of a basketball game sometimes. If you don't make it in the hoop, it's not a good basketball game. It's just a low-scoring game. It's kind of the same thing here where these two guys are just jostling up top to try to see who can get that position. Under 90 seconds here in this third period. Central Cass trailing it on the team score right now, 22-6. There's 6 points coming from Jake Deutsch via the fall at the 145-pound weight class to start this one off in the second period.
And obviously, we're getting to about 1 minute left of the match. that's where the urgency is going to have to come on Garber's part, right? He's down 1 point, and he is. You see, he's coming in, hard and angry.
That's the definition of potentially a headshot there, where you sometimes are coming in hard and you might see two heads kind of collide.
Yeah, and Hull's not interested in this, but he's smartly circling back in towards the middle. We're at 45 seconds to go. They've spent most of the match in this position as a couple of Rams just tied solid together. Every once in a while, one of them will take a nice shot, but for the most part, it's been locked heads and working over and under hooks.
A lot of energy on the mat right now with under 30 seconds left here at 195 pounds. Hull with the 1 point edge as the clock continues to wind, now under 20.
The Carrington coaches are getting on him. He needs to score, and 10 seconds. Oh, Hull scores the takedown. Nice. Yeah. 5-2 is your final score. Anthony Hull finishes strong. Gets Central Cass 3 points. Stops the 22-point run, and brings the score to 22-9, heading into the 220-pound matchup.
Nice job by Hull there at the very end, just to kind of get that insurance up by one. You knew that leaving himself open there for the Carrington Cardinals, and Hull was able to take advantage. And like Joe was talking about there, earn the decision, earn the points. And as we get ready for now at 220.
At this point, like I said, it's all about how your team finishes up. So Garber has nothing to lose. He had to go for it, and he tried to do a throw, and it didn't work because Hull kept his shoulders square and his weight back, and he fell down on top of him and scored the point. So
as we get ready for 220 pounds here between the Central Cass Squirrels and the Carrington Cardinals. Carrington will have Richter out there right now at 220 pounds.
And Garrett Haugen for the Central Cass Squirrels, and he's in on a knee pick for a 2-point takedown to start the match right away. He's looking to work a far wing. It appears the Velva wrestlers are in my way.
Right in the way, especially on the near side of this mat here, as we're on right in front of mat number 8, kind of looking across to mat number 7.
Took the arm, brought it across the belly. He's got him flat on his back. He just needs to post the arm towards the referee's head and hopefully secure the fall.
As Haugen looking.
He's got the head lifted up, and there it is.
39 seconds into this 220-pound weight class, Haugen earns the fall here for Central Cass. It'll be their second of the match, and the next 9 points here go towards the Squirrels. As we go to the heavyweight division now at 285 pounds. In the semifinals, New Salem Almont over South Border.
I don't think Carrington's going to show here at 285. They got a young kid that isn't going to be able to compete with Dylan. Yep.
So another 6 points goes to Central Cass, now 22-21. So that'll be the second forfeit of the match, one by Central Cass and one by Carrington.
Yeah, same kind of show of respect that we did for Michael Clifton. You want these kids to wrestle, and you got to give respect to the guy who who's going to win the match no matter what. Some weight classes, right? He's going to pin no matter what.
As we go to the 106-pound weight class here across the way, New Salem Almont 18-12 over South Border. Lisbon 9-3 right now against Henninger Scranton, and Kenmare Bullbells of Burke County over Velva, the Aggies 30-15. So 22-21. It's been back and forth as we get to the 106-pound weight class.
Yeah, we've got
Drew Carr for Carrington and Urbach here for Central Cass. 106.
These kids are flying around out there again like any other 106-pound. Carr gets in, around the waist, climbs the tree, and gets the 2-point takedown of Urbach. Got a real deep waist on there, but Urbach's going flying, and wow, Urbach comes trying to pop out, and he grabs him by the ankle and brings him back in. Now we have a clasping call on Carr from Carrington, and they're going to try to let Urbach get away, but he doesn't. So it's going to be a 1-point penalty against Carr. Urbach will stay in the down position. Score will be 2-1 as match continues with about a minute to go in the first period.
Carr lost a decision 4-2 against Will Mosebrucker from New Salem Almont. On the opposite side at 106 pounds, Drew Urbach with the fall with 3 minutes and 26 seconds into the match against Joseph Keller back in the quarterfinals.
So Urbach with 1 minute to go in the first period gets his escape, peeled the belly hand and got out, and now we're back on our feet, tied 2-2.
Under 50 seconds here this second period. 1 point edge right now on the team numbers. As the Squirrels right now with Urbach.
Yeah, they're in a tight, Carr's in on a really nice single, but Urbach's in a great sprawl, and he's got his arm in there, and so they almost got separation. Now Carr's trying to turn the corner on the single. Urbach's reaching for an ankle, trying to avoid that from happening with 10 seconds to go, and Urbach bails out. Carr gets his 2-point takedown.
Up now 4-2 in this 106-pound weight class as we're going to enter the second period here.
Yeah, great flurry of wrestling. Two would appear to be pretty evenly matched, guys.
I started at 145 pounds for the weight class, currently again at 106 right now. So we're halfway through this dual action between the Squirrels and the Cardinals. Working on top again is Carr.
Yeah, he's working. He's got the far left wrist of Urbach's. Urbach's got to work to get up to his base.
Carr's just trying to ride up top a little bit. Urbach almost got away.
Yeah, but he's got that far left wrist, and so you can't get up to his base when he can't post his left arm. Oh, he's up. There he's free, and Urbach gets an escape. We're 4-3 with a minute and 15 seconds to go in the second period.
As right now it's anyone's bout at 106 pounds. Trailing it by just 1 point is Urbach.
This is a tight duel. I'm having flashbacks to 2 weeks ago. I'm getting pretty excited. I'm pacing back and forth here. And
as Urbach right now, and you have Cars are both battling for
it.
it.
Carr's in on a single leg. Urbach's sprawling, and nothing's changing, so the referee's calling a stalemate and putting them back on their feet in the middle of the circle. There's 46 seconds to go in the second period. Carr leads 4-3.
And this is one of those where you kind of go back for the team total numbers, and if you get those extra points, right, if you win by a decision, or you can find yourself, if you can get something going with one good move and then maybe even get up to a majors decision, this could be one of those weight classes that is the difference maker on the total points at the very end.
100%. And Carr's got a great single. That's his third one I think he's got now. He just got a takedown with a nice single. He's up 6-3 with 20 seconds to go. But Urbach's still fighting, and he just got free. So it's now 6-4 in favor of Carr of Carrington with 10 seconds to go in the period.
We've seen Carr a little bit more on the offensive with Urbach more on the defensive, but Urbach trying to get that single leg right now with under 3 seconds here in this period, and that's how we'll end the second. So 6-4, Carrington with that one with Carr over Urbach of Central Cass as we go to the third.
Yeah, Kerbaugh just asked him, what do you want to do? You want to go on your feet? And he said, no, I want to go in the down position. And Kerbaugh said, well, then you go in the down position. Letting him make his own decision.
As Urbach
but that's a place he hasn't been yet this entire match. And so it'll be interesting to see if Urbach can work on the top or not. He hasn't gotten his own takedown yet. So
as Urbach is trying to work on the top here, and on the opposite side, Carr's trying to do something that Urbach's done to Carr a number of times, and that's get out and earn that a point.
Now Urbach's got a nice chicken wing in on the right-hand side, but
as Urbach's working up top, 1:27 left here in this third period.
Looking for a cross face now, but he's got to get to work. There's a minute and 20 to go, and he's down 2. And again, nice dump on his part. Carr with a nice dump to Urbach, and the next thing you know, he's got a reversal. No back points, but he's in control on top, ankle hooked, and head 8-4 with 55 seconds to go.
So right now, Urbach's going to have to try to get an escape, try to get another point back, but seems like every time Urbach gets a point, there's 2 points coming for Carr there.
Well, because Carr gets in on a shot right away again, and he's good. He's smart, and he knows how to turn the corner and just get the points and not worry about wasting all that strength pulling it in.
Both of these freshman wrestlers, and you can see a lot of each other here in years to come here for these two programs.
Yeah, they tend to go up in weight pretty much the same if they're the same age at 106.
And Carr right now just looking to ride this one out on top in the final 15 seconds, up by 4. With this result, 3 points coming here for the Carrington Cardinals.
A stalling call on Carr on the top. Again, I haven't seen many of those in the tournament, so I was kind of surprised. But
so Urbach gets away, earns the point.
Yeah, he's got 3 seconds to try to do something, but he doesn't. So the final score is 8-5 in favor of Carr of Carrington.
So Carr with the decision win. 3 more points upcoming here for Carrington as they now lead it 25-21 in this consolation semifinal round dual action as we head now to the 113-pound weight class. Peterson for Central Cass in the quarterfinals at 113 pounds. Brady won over Brody Mickelson of South Border via the fall, 1 minute and 52 seconds into that one. And Hogarth will be wrestling here for the Carrington Cardinals.
Yeah, Hogarth and Brady Peterson, that's a big matchup. Brady finished 4th in the state. Hogarth was the state champion at 113, so.
113 pounds, Hogarth and Peterson. Peterson the sophomore, Hogarth the junior here for Carrington. As Hogarth looking for the 2-point takedown, and he has it right at the edge of the match right now. And then this one will go out, and 2 points upcoming here for Carrington. New Salem Almont and Henninger Scranton, South Border. It's New Salem Almont 30-18. Lisbon over Henninger Scranton 21-3 in the semis. 30-18 Kenmare Bowbells, Burke County over the Velva Aggies right now in the consolation semis. Carrington Cardinals lead it by 5. Right now Hogarth with a 2-0 edge 50 seconds into this first period at 113-pound weight class. And working on top is Hogarth.
It's a tight duel situation. 25-21. It's anybody's duel still at this point. We got plenty of matches left.
4
after
left.
13, we got 20, 26, 38 still. So
every point really does matter at this point once you get to those decision and major decision opportunities where points have been hard to come by. Both teams with 6 points respectively via the forfeit from the opposition. Seen a couple of falls here, 2 by Central Cass, 2 by Carrington as well. So it's been as much of a mirror image of one another here in this duel.
yeah, absolutely. Again, their strength areas are not necessarily our strength areas, but this is a good matchup here. Like I said, anytime you can see after the tournament's over, the guy who finished 4th and the guy who won the state championship wrestling in a duel, that's a treat.
A point for the escape by Peterson, now down 2-1.
Wow.
That was a move right after going on the mat.
we call that a high flyer. Hogarth threw him with a high flyer out of bounds. He let him go, so because he knew it was going to be out of bounds, but it was just a statement, right?
The exclamation point, so to speak, when going up against one another to let them know you got that kind of move in your back pocket.
I just locked around his waist, tossed him up over his head.
So we start the second period, 2-1 advantage here for Hogarth over Peterson.
Yeah.
Might be in a...
We got a stalemate. Heading back towards the middle. Brady was turning around the corner. If he could have got his arm across and climbed up above the waist, they could have given him a reversal, but they didn't. Hogarth Hogarth looking for a switch, and Brady returning him to the mat.
1:30 left here in this second period. We might have some blood time here, so we will take a quick break here with this blood time in the 113-pound weight class. Hogarth up 2-1 over Peterson.
New Golden Harvest Gold Series soybeans are here. In the Hillsboro area, contact Tim Cassette, 701-430-0877. These new Golden Harvest Gold Series soybeans feature exclusive genetics and high-demand trait platforms like Enlist E3 soybeans and XtendFlex soybeans. Golden Harvest Seeds. Talk with your area representative, Tim Cassette, 701-430-0877 for Golden Harvest Seed.
Back here after the blood time, not taking too much time. It's still a 2-1 edge here for Hogarth at the 113 pounds.
And Hogarth's been looking for that switch the entire period, and he got it right away and sinks his leg in. So he's got a 2-point reversal on that switch, and he's up 4-1. He's got his leg in deep and working a half, and now he's looking for a crossface.
This one at 1/3.
Called potentially dangerous, and they're putting him back in the middle. So Brady Peterson's on the bottom. Hogarth's up 4-1. 1 minute to go in the second period. 113 pounds.
New Salem Almont getting some separation across the way against the South Border, up 36-18 at 120-pound weight class. The Lisbon Broncos in Henninger-Scranton still at 195-pound weight class, 21-3 Lisbon. So this at 113 pounds. Hogarth will start on top here against Brady Peterson. Past the midway point here of the second period. As Hogarth again with a 3-point edge. Sprawling on his stomach is Peterson underneath. Hogarth looking for the move right now up top.
Yeah, he's got a really nice ride on Brady Peterson. Brady's working on the bottom, sitting out, standing up constantly, and Hogarth's just in a really, really, really nice ride, shadowing every move that Brady makes and returning him back to the mat.
10 seconds left here in this second period as we're going to get a stalling warning.
Yeah, stalling warning on Kasten, which I thought was interesting because Hogarth on top was on an ankle, and you can't stay on that ankle for that long a period of time. I mean, it's impossible to stand up when somebody's holding on your ankle, so you can lift it to knock him down, but you can't.
And I think that's what Travis Samar is asking right now.
You can't call stalling on. It's bad enough that you're not calling stalling on them for holding on to his ankle the whole time, but you can't call stalling on my kid because he can't stand up. Yeah.
This is one sport where you will hear every now and then coaches and officials talk with another, but maybe not as much as basketball, so to speak, where the coaches will talk with the officials. There will be some questions definitely asked, a particular reason why maybe something was blown dead or something in between, and particularly like that.
And it's the subjectivity of fouls in basketball, right? It's very subjective. So you're influencing him. Hey, this is what's happening, and so that's all Travis is saying. He doesn't expect him to change the situation, but hey, he's holding on to his ankles, so just look for that, please.
As Hogarth rides Peterson nearly off the mat here on the near side.
Hogarth's determined to get bonus points right now. He was back in the middle in a split second. He's looking.
As it's still a 3-point edge here. 140, and there's a 2-point takedown there for Hogarth.
Yeah, he secured the takedown. If you notice that in the last 10 seconds, his aggression level has hit a new level in a positive way. But he's getting it from his coaches that he needs to go out and get bonus points. You're a state champion. Go out and get bonus points.
It went up from the third to fourth gear without question here in the final 2 minutes. And right now it's still a decision win. And if you're a Peterson, you want to hold it just down to that decision if you can, as Carrington currently has that 4-point team lead. Hogarth again starting off top here once they get them back.
Brady's got to continue to work to his base and attempt to get up because he does have that stall warning. Hopefully they're going to give him another one simply because they feel guilty for the first one, but we'll see. Once Travis told him he was holding on to his ankle the whole time. So we got an escape from Brady Peterson. We're at 6-2 with 50 seconds to go, and Hogarth's looking for more, and he just through him in a headlock from this position and has him glued. And Brady is fighting with all of his might to keep his right shoulder up off the mat. 37 seconds to go. He gets to his belly. Good.
And 3 points on the near fall, too. So now it is a major decision. And Holgarth brings him back down one more time with 23 seconds left here in the third. And then you just nailed it right on the head, Joe, to start this third period. Holgarth was trying to get from a decision to a major decision, and with 10 seconds right now, looks like he will do so up by 9.
Yeah, I mean, even if he got an escape, it would still be 8. So, yeah, they're going to get the major decision.
So Holgarth at 113 pounds, able to pick up the major decision 11-2 with that one. And in doing so, 4 more points come here for Carrington, now up 29-21 on the team total. As we go to the 120-pound weight class here.
Yeah, Josiah's Crandall at 120 pounds for Central Cass, one of our strongest wrestlers. If this is gonna come down to the end, we need a pin out of him right here. That's my personal opinion.
6 points would be very large here against Nick Garber from Carrington, the 7th grader, going up against Crandall, the junior here for the Central Cass Squirrels. And Crandall wasting little time in the opening 6 seconds, getting a 2-point takedown, and he's already working for the fall.
Kept that arm. Oh, let him through, but he's still working. Referee's got 3 in the hole. Okay, switched moves, so now the 3 goes on the board. He's working a wing on the right side, swinging back and forth, and he's going to hopefully suck him in and take one big step around the top. Grab that far left wrist.
Joe, I think Josiah heard you saying we needed some points here. We need a pin, and he went right to work early.
His coaches told him that before he went out there. I mean, like you said, you got your horses. They got to run for you, for you to win these duels, especially in even matched like this one, right?
126 pounds, 132
There it is. He's
pounds.
got the far. No, he doesn't have the wrist yet.
And 138 pounds left, so there's just 3 weight classes after this one is left. Carrington with that 8-point team lead right now.
We got a potentially dangerous. He's not having any trouble getting the wing back. He's having trouble getting the far left wrist. So when you can't pull that far left wrist under, it allows him to post that thing out there and fight off that. So he's got to get the opposite wrist and pull it under so he can just run it right over.
Garber was trying to get the escape right off the bat in the down position, but Crandall able to get him still on the mat and working up top right now.
Oh, he already had the one. So he's going to come with a half Nelson on the opposite side of the body. And now he's going back to the wing on the right side. He just keeps switching, waiting to see what Garber wants to do. If you want to go right or left.
20 seconds left here in this first period. 5 points just came right out of the gate by Crandall, but since then, Garber able to not give up any more points with 15 seconds here in this period.
He's got the wing again on the right side. He's trying to run it over, but he doesn't have that far wrist. So, there he's going to get some exposure. 2, 3, 4, 5. He's going to get a 3-point near fall.
And just
end the period.
Beats the period. Little tap as well.
Yeah.
So 8-0 right now. The Squirrels with the advantage here with Crandall as we go to the second period.
So Garber has choice, and he, instead of deferring, chooses on his feet. So he's got a plan, apparently, and Josiah's in on a shot. Garber's looking for a twister, and he hits it. He hit a twister. Oh, yeah, wow. Wow. Yeah, front headlock, and then you basically just twist your body as hard and fast as you can, and it spins the guy and puts him on his back. But Crandall got to his belly out of it, so without any bonus points. So scores 8-2, and Garber's on top position.
That's the best we've seen Garber in terms of make an opportunity to try to get Crandall down to the mat and earn some points, but Crandall doesn't waste too much time, able to get right back on top.
Yep, back, gets his reversal. 10-2, second period, 1 minute to go. Again, working on a cradle.
Crandall right now continues working with under 60 seconds here in this period. It would be, if it stays here, it's still a lot of time left, but it would be 4 points coming here for Central Cass if it does stay here with, again, the 126, 132, and the 145, the 138-pound weight class still to go.
Yeah, I was a PE teacher, not a math teacher, but my opinion, Crandall needs 6 points here, especially knowing that we've got Dukeshire and Lura coming up for Carrington.
As on top here again is Crandall. 20 seconds left in this second period, up by a 12-2 margin right now.
Yeah, Josiah needs to keep working here. And heading into the third period, he needs to find something that's going to not just get 3 near fall, but it's going to secure the pinfall. So we're heading into the third period, scores 12-2. And Josiah Crandall's choice, and he's going to be in the up position trying to secure that pinfall and keep this duel close.
Right now just kind of trying to loosen up the arm a little bit there is Garber. As Coach Lamar is asking if the opposition.
Yeah, I saw Travis put up, but sometimes that can be misconstrued as neutral. Sorry.
As right now in that up position again is Crandall. If he does get 5 more points, it would be a tech fall. And what could potentially, if he's able to get to a 17-2 margin, then that'll be 5 points coming for the team.
He's looking for a butcher, pulling that shoulder across. Oh, he hits a headlock, and he's got him on his back. Crandall's hit the headlock. He's got him on his back, and he's got a minute and a half to settle in.
That'll be 3
points.
He's
done. There it is. 6 points. Attaboy, Josiah.
That was awfully large for the Squirrels. Give Hogarth a lot of credit. Garber, a lot of credit for trying to battle as much as he possibly could during that time, and he made Crandall earn it going to the third period.
That twister he hit was beautiful, and that's the thing about the twister. You're exposing your own back in the process, so if you're going to hit a twister, you have to fully commit to it, because if you change your mind halfway through, you just pinned yourself.
So that's the third fall here for the Central Cass Squirrels in this duel, as we now go to the 126-pound weight class. Again, 3 classes left here to determine who goes on to the consolation semifinals. We'll play either our wrestle against either the Velva Aggies or Kenmare Bowbells Burke County, and it is Kenmare Bowbells Burke County with the 36-24 advantage, heading to 132 pounds right now in that consolation semi.
Wow, Grady Link gets in on a nice single against state finalist Michael Dukeshire, but Dukeshire turns that into a 2-point. No, he doesn't actually yet, because Grady's still holding on to the leg.
Dukeshire right now, the senior, Link the freshman.
But Dukeshire's trying to lock up a near side cradle in the process of Link not giving up the takedown. And there it is. It's locked up and he's glued, and that's a 6-point turn and a pin for Michael Dukeshire Carrington.
So 35-27 right now. Dukeshire wastes little time. 35 seconds into the first period here as Dukeshire earns the fall for Carrington. As we head to the 132-pound weight class right now between Central Cass and the Squirrels.
So who shows who here? They're trying to figure out. Okay. Johnson from Central Cass. Travis trying to figure out who has to show first. That's how, sometimes these duels literally come down to the coin flip, because one guy has to show their wrestler and then somebody else can. It's like moving your chess piece, right? I'll decide what I'm going to do after you move your piece. But who has to move their piece first? So you want to win the coin flip so that you have choice, just like in football.
Yep.
Coin flip at the beginning, you want to take the football in the second half.
Very similar in hockey, where you hear the same thing, right? Which line is going out first for the opposition, and then you can determine a little bit on home ice what line that you're going to throw out there. So with the score as it stands right now, and they're going to award 3 points to Central Cass here, it looks like. Will this be via the forfeit? And so it would be a 2-point edge for Carrington, and that would go to our final then, a weight class here, Joe.
Yeah. Wow, this is gonna be an epic battle here. Yeah, Lura, who is a state champion at 138 pounds, and Olsen Tinglestead, who finished 5th at 132 pounds. So.
So Lura, senior, Tinglestead, the sophomore.
Oh my gosh! If you could see this live, they got into a flurry. Lura ends up on top, and now he's got an armbar grabbing the far wrist and bringing Olsen Tinglestead over to his back. Olsen Tinglestead's trying to roll through it. He's caught in a double chicken wing, trying to avoid getting pinned. Lura's trying to secure the pin. Ultimately, with a 2-point difference, whoever wins this match is going to win the duel for their team.
As right now, Laura's still working on top here, 40 seconds into this first period. Already been awarded 2 points. We know more is coming here with the near fall.
He's still got the same move, but they're going to hopefully be out of bounds here in a second. I'm biased.
And there it is. 3 points on the near fall for Lura. And again, it's a 2-point edge for Carrington in the team numbers. So again, to Joe's points, whoever wins this particular match, there's going to be enough even on a decision for Carrington, for example, to end up moving on to the championship, or Central Cass with the decision to move on to the championship.
Yeah, a 2-point duel. And I mean, for Carrington to not show at the previous weight class, they have a lot of confidence and respect in Lura to put him out there, believing he's going to win.
So the final weight class here in this consolation semifinal between Carrington and Central Cass.
Lura turns him, Olsen Tinglestead in a half, but then Olsen Tinglestead's coming out on the backside. He's got the ankle in, and he gets the reversal. Now Lura grabs the front head and is trying to pull it over the top, but Olsen Tinglestead still has the leg hooked. So there's no change in, and there's 4-3-2, and the referees are just going to let it go to the end with no change. So Lura with the takedown, 3-point near fall. Olsen Tinglestead rolls through a turn and actually, without giving up any swipes, and actually ends up on the top half and 2. So heading in the second period, Lura picks down Tinglestead. Olsen Tinglestead's up, or on the top position, down 5-2.
And Olsen Tinglestead can make a really fun day even better, winning his 100th career win.
Yeah.
Back in the quarterfinals, and talk about if he was able to come back from a 5-0 deficit on Lura here, one just to earn a individual portion, but also the team portion here in the duels.
Yeah, he's got a nice wing on the right side and a half in on the left side. And he's circling, and Lura's fighting back. I mean, you could see the weight here too. Like, Lura's a weight class heavier than Olsen Tinglestead, and sometimes when they must try to muscle each other, Lura gets a little bit better on the muscle side. But Olsen Tinglestead's getting fired up, and he wants to win this duel for Central Cass, so he's gonna keep fighting, and he's circling back and forth, push, pull, trying to get him to turn over. He's got the now Lura's in on a double leg, but it would be a reversal if he could turn the corner on it. Olsen Tinglestead's, he's still below the hip, so they haven't given the reversal yet, and now they're giving him the reversal. So Lura gets his reversal, and they now go up 7-2. Lura's ahead 7-2 of Carrington with 30 seconds to go at 138 pounds in the second period.
As this one again comes down to the final wrestler, who will ultimately determine who advances to the consolation championship at 3 o'clock. And then the loser of this duel, again, their season will come to a close with no 7th place duel here tonight.
Yeah.
So 7-2 right now. Lura with 15 seconds here in this second period. And Kenmare Bowbells Burke County just earns a pin at 138 pounds, so they are going to advance to the consolation championship. And Central
They're looking for a reversal at the tail end there, but what are we going to say? 1 point escape. So Central Cass wanted a 2 reversal. Carrington says no reversal. Time was expired, so they meet in the middle and call loss of control, which is an escape 1 point.
You could hear the Central Cass fans, though, chanting for the 2 behind the coaches.
Well, this is it. I mean, one of us is done. If they win, they get their retribution. If we win, we reinforce what happened earlier. 7-3 in favor of Lura in the third period, and he gets a Peterson and has Olsen Tingleston on his back with back points coming.
This one again, 9-3 right now.
Yeah, kind of a back roll where he has a leg and an arm and it on the same side of the body and is laying on him essentially from behind, and it you aren't going to get a pin out of it, but you get easy back points, and then you can just get back into control afterwards. So
80 seconds left here in the third period. What does Olsen Tingleston have to do here, Joe, if you're a Squirrel fan?
He's got to get a switch and get in control, or he's got to get up to his feet and try to get a throw. I don't know what, but he's got to get out. He's got to get up and out. He's got to make the first move on the bottom. Clear your arm, stand up, peel the belly hand and get out. But putting your head down and that. He's up to the tripod position. Lura's a little high, but Olsen Tinglested's right arm is secured by Lura, so he can't really get up. And now he's calling stalling on Lura from the top position. And now Lura's questioning the official. What do you mean I'm stalling?
And we've seen that more in this particular duel than maybe throughout the tournament.
I haven't seen stalling calls on the top position at all as I've walked around for 2 days, but they've been called a lot in this duel, which is fine. We want action, right?
Yep. As long as you're consistent with it as well. Under 30 seconds here left in the period.
Yeah. Olsen Tinglested's got to do something. He's down 6, 9-3 with 25 seconds to go. He's got to get up to his base. He's in a sit-out position right now. Stands up to his feet, turns around, squares up. 15 seconds, 14 seconds to go. 14 seconds to go. The score is 9-4 in favor of Lura. He needs a throw. And Lura wisely gets in on a shot because then he can't get thrown when he's in on a shot, right? Whether he scores or not, he doesn't care. And that's how your match is going to end, and that's how the duel is going to end.
So a decision win for Carrington will put this one to a final of a 38-33 over Central Cass. Comes right down to the wire, so Carrington will go on and play in the consolation semifinals, and they will wrestle off with Kenmare Bullbells of Burke County. Well, Velva and Central Cass, they will see their dual portion of their seasons come to a close, in the wrestling season as well come to a close, with the individual portion already done yesterday with the state champions in both the girls and boys division. Joe, back and forth, when you said it earlier that if you're going to get Carrington today some way, when you saw the bracket, that you knew it was going to go right down the wire, and it did, and it lived up to the hype, I guess, a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you don't want it any other way than the last match determines it. No matter who wins, it doesn't even have to be a major decision. Either guy wins, that wins the duel. That was an exciting finish. But like I said, you wrestle that duel over 4 times, and you can flip a coin as to who's going to win it each time.
Had everything from forfeits. We had everything from falls. Not too much blood time, which is all right because we got to see a lot of action there between those two teams.
Right.
And again, your final in the duels portion, Carrington with the 5-point edge. We're going to take a quick timeout. We come back. We'll keep you apprised of what's going on. Just one Class B duel still in action, but Lisbon well on to going back to a Class B dual championship round. We'll let you know about that after the break.
Goose River Heating and Cooling of Hillsboro. Corey Wright is ready for you as a Rude dealer for the Hillsboro and surrounding communities. If your furnace has lived past its prime, you'll want to talk to Corey today about a new Rude furnace for your home or new construction. Now, you don't want to be left out in the cold, and that's why Goose River Heating and Cooling is available for you with 24-hour emergency service. Contact Corey Wright today at Goose River Heating and Cooling, 701-430-1990. Serving Hillsboro and the surrounding communities as a Rude dealer. Here for you, Goose River Heating and Cooling.
Everyone here at the Hillsborough and Central Valley School Districts would like to take this time to remind parents to teach their children how to be responsible and stay drug-free. By late elementary, many children know of a classmate who smokes, drinks, or uses drugs. It is never too early to talk to your child about substance abuse. Schools teach kids to say no to drugs, but it's what the parents do that counts the most. This has been Stella Benson with a message from the Hillsborough and Central Valley School Districts.
Get the dairy products, non-dairy products, frozen seafood, meat items, and more delivered to your door from Teak, the Udder Guy at Hillsborough Dairy. Call 701-436-5877. He will bring it right to your door. Hillsborough, Grandin, Purley, Hendrum, Borup, Ada, Climax, Shelley, Lockhart. East of Ada to the Twin Valley addresses and around the area. Hillsborough Dairy delivering right to your door. 701-436-5877.
Rock Solid Concrete. Give them a call at 701-238-4523 to get a free estimate on all your concrete projects. Services provided are, but not limited to, decorative stamp patios, decorative stamp sidewalks, new and replacement driveways and sidewalks, garage, shop, and shed pad floors, and residential and commercial flat work. They would love to sit down with you and find a plan that works best for your projects. Call Rock Solid Concrete at 701-238-4523.
As we come back here, our final on our post-game show in a dual consolation semifinal. Carrington 38, Central Cass 33 is the final. Some other finals in Kenmare advances in the consolation semis as well. Kenmare Bowbells with a 45-24 win over number 5 seed Velva. And then in the semifinals, New Salem Almont with the 52-24 defeat of the South Border Mustangs. So South Border will go in the third place match at 3 o'clock, the consolation championship. Kenmare Bowbells against the Carrington Cardinals, and the Lisbon Broncos well on their way, currently at 138 pounds. This is their final one, but they are up 45-21. So Joe, give us a little preview here. Number 1 versus number 2 in the seeds, Holsteins and the Broncos. They've had a lot of storied tradition, and they were going back and forth in the individual portion to see how many points you can get from the team, as well as that was going back and forth, and we should probably see the similar thing here coming at 3 o'clock in the duels.
Well, you take Rich Lucena from Lisbon and David Wolding from New Salem, and you aren't going to find two better coaches of my generation out there. So it rubs off on their kids and it in their communities. I mean, their communities, not to be smart, aren't basketball communities. They're wrestling communities. And so you grow up wanting to be a wrestler. The whole community supports them. And they've got, hammers at guys that are not only going to get you bonus points, but are guaranteed pins at different weight classes. Ingwich from New Salem, Gerhardt from New Salem, Bowden Greenlee from Lisbon. I mean, I could go on and on. So it's going to come down to, I saw that New Salem put all but one of their wrestlers into the finals of their regionals, and everybody qualified. And the one who didn't make the finals finished third. So, I mean, absolute conference dominance for them, and Lisbon dominant conference-wise in Region 1 as well. So it's going to be an exciting finish. I think Lisbon might have the edge, but I'm excited to see how it plays itself out, and I have nothing but respect and admiration for both coaches and the entire programs that they have, because it's a machine. When one piece wears out and moves on, a new piece comes right in, and it's seamless.
A final thing for you, Joe, before we let you go, and we put a bow on our wrestling coverage here with the Central Cass Squirrels this season here on your live event. Just to kind of take us through everything from a wrestling standpoint. I know the big story the last 2-3 years has been girls wrestling in the state to get their opportunity, from Fargo Davies to last year kind of waiting until the boys got done, then they got their opportunity on center stage, and then here able to intermix. The one thing that's only different is there's no girl duels, but as the sport continues to grow in popularity, we'll more than likely see that in future years. And also from the boys' side, in terms of individuals to what we saw here today, obviously you would like to get a top 5 placing, obviously, on the dual side, but what did you see from Central Cass from a wrestling standpoint?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the evolution of girls wrestling is coming. I've worked the USA Wrestling Tournament in the summer for 10 years, and I've seen, how a few came along in the beginning and Alpha came. Central Cass was a pioneer. They went out last year and recruited tons of girls. They had the very first duel last year, and came in here and won the girls individual points. Travis Lamar was the state girls wrestling coach, very first state wrestling girls coach of the year. So exciting that way. And definitely the future is bright in girls wrestling. Tony Fugelberg at Fargo Davies is like, you know what, I'm gonna move away from the boys and focus on the girls. I think that's important, that you kind of figure out who's going to be the girls coaches and who's going to be the guys coaches, so they can define that. But anyway, getting back to Central Cass, and we started off young. We had a lot of question marks and some holes, and I saw amazing growth from all of our kids, honestly, over the course of the year. We obviously would have never in a million years guessed we were going to leave region champions of the duels 3 weeks ago at the beginning of the year, for sure. And that's an accomplishment, regardless of what the outcome that happened today, that you can't take away from those boys. So I think the future's bright. Jake, my son Jake, was the only senior on the wrestling team, boys or girls, and we had by far the largest girls team in the state. So youth is on their side, and the future is bright for Central Cass Wrestling. So I appreciate the 5 years that they gave us, and it'll be weird not having somebody wrestling next year. So.
It will be, and it's one of those deals where, again, even though your son or daughter might graduate, you're not leaving the sport, you're not leaving the town, you're not leaving the community that is. And just speak a little bit to that about what wrestling is like, where you might have sons or daughters that feel like maybe a sons or daughters 1 degree away in the family than you're actually a son, because you've seen them either in your backyard or you were at tournaments or gyms together going all through, the time through wrestling over the years.
Yeah, well, I coached for 6-7 years through their youth at Tech Team Wrestling Club in Fargo, which is where all the kids in the region that wanted to wrestle competitively hard at that young age would come. So I got kids, sophomores, juniors, seniors, across from Class A to Class B. And obviously, since Jake started out in Central Cass, I got an opportunity to really get to know those kids and those parents and fans. And so, yes, wrestling is a very, very tight-knit group. The names never leave the communities because they stay in their communities, and they have kids, and those kids are wrestlers, and wrestlers have a tendency to be kind of guarded when it comes to people outside of there. But if you're family in wrestling, you're thick as blood. So it's definitely a sport where it never leaves you. And the respect that everybody has for everybody that wrestles because of the grit, the determination. I mean, there's nobody to blame, right? You can blame your teammate when you lose in a basketball game. You can blame the goalie when you lose a hockey game, but you can't blame anybody else if you lose a wrestling match. So there's another level of responsibility and determination that a kid has when he chooses to wrestle.
Class A, some finals that are in Bismarck. High of 55-16, dual semifinal win over Dickinson. It will be an all-Western showdown as Jamestown and Minot right now across the way. It looks like a 29-28 or 29-29 a matchup with Jamestown and Minot to see who will duel against Bismarck in the state championship. Dickinson will go to 3rd place in the consolation portion. West Fargo Cheyenne 54-22 over Fargo Davies. They're waiting to see as that's going right down to the wire as well with West Fargo and Valley City, and that's a 36-30 edge right now with just 1 period left and 138 pounds. So the West kind of flexing their their muscles here. Bismarck High, a well-schooled program with a number of individual championships from duels is what they've been able to do as well, going up against another Western team. But on the Eastern side, West Fargo Cheyenne, after falling by 4 points against Jamestown in the quarterfinals, able to come back with a nice win in a duel fashion over Fargo Davies.
Yeah, I mean, the West has dominated that for years. Century actually didn't make it this year, which is crazy to think of. Jamestown edged them out, and then so since Jamestown was the 4, they wrestled the 1, which was Cheyenne from this side. Cheyenne I'm sure thinks they should have won that, but again, coin flips and matches go in different directions and whatever. But then, like you said, they rebounded and beat Fargo Davies to continue on. But your Final Four is West teams again, and that'll just fuel the fire for these guys to keep working hard as a dual team and keep going on. But especially at Bismarck High, wrestling is a big deal, and those guys, iron sharpens iron is what they always say in wrestling. So your practice partner will always make you a better wrestler.
Hey, Joe, thanks so much for being part of the broadcast here. I know you've done a lot of behind-the-scenes work here with the Fargo Metro Committee and everything else this weekend, so thank you very much for the time. And I know it's always fun to put the mats out for 3 days, but it's always fun to know that at the very end you can kind of roll them back up one more time and know that really good crowds, by the way. I mean, on Thursday, Friday, really good crowds on the individual portions, and it was fun to see the state come together one more time for wrestling.
Yeah, especially Class B. The whole town shuts off the lights and everybody goes together. But, I got a chance for the last month here to work with you guys, and it's been an absolute pleasure, and I appreciate it immensely being invited to come along.
Well, we'll see down the line in the gym here in the next couple of weeks with Jake and the Central Cass Squirrels, because there's going to be no love lost, I'm sure, there in Region 1 either, with some basketball that's still left to be played.
Yeah, but I'm not going to be able to help call basketball action nearly as well as you will.
Okay.
So you'll have to teach me a few things about basketball then, all right?
We'll switch around there a little bit.
Absolutely. I look forward to it.
That, again, is Joe Deutsch. I'm Chase Miller. Thank you very much for tuning into our coverage. A reminder, the state championship dual match will feature New Salem Almont and also the Lisbon Broncos. That'll be right here on your live event. Again, go to your live event. That'll start up at around 3 o'clock today from the Fargo Dome. Have a great rest of your Saturday afternoon.